Thank you. We'll start a round of 5-minute questions. Detailed reporting from the New York Times Magazine a few weeks ago asserted that connections between the Serbian government and gang violence in both Serbia and North Kosovo, carrying out murders and intimidating political rivals in the media. Is this reporting credible, Counselor?
We believe it is. I mean, I can't speak to the specifics of the article, but there is absolutely a lot of corruption and gang violence.
So what are the real prospects for a reliable partner in Serbia with that background?
Well, it's something, Mr. Chairman, we have to test. And we have to, again, we're doing this with eyes open, but we are holding Vučić to account and his colleagues to account for their corruption, for their behavior and activity. We have issued sanctions against many folks throughout the region. We've made very clear that corruption, and by the way, it's not just in one particular part of the region, it's a scourge throughout the region. And in my view, at least, corruption is the single most important thing holding up the integration of the region into Europe. And so this is a high priority for us. It's something that our embassies work very, very hard on, and we pay very close attention to in Washington.
Well, since Serbia and Kosovo agreed to the EU proposal agreement on the path to normalization between themselves, we've had mixed results, starting with President Vučić's refusal to sign the agreement. We have seen Serbia violate the agreement by opposing Kosovo's membership in the Council of Europe and through encouraging a boycott of elections in North Kosovo by ethnic Serbs. Now, I want to see Kosovo and Serbia move forward on normalization, but how can we expect countries to implement an agreement in good faith if Vučić refuses to put his name on it?
We consider that agreement to be legally binding. We have told President Vučić that, and he has never denied that. The EU has also said that that agreement is legally binding, and we consider
Well, he may not deny it, but he doesn't do the things necessary to implement it. That's the equivalent.
Well, unfortunately, if I may, Mr. Chairman, we're not seeing much implementation on either side of that agreement. And it's something that my colleague, Mr. Escobar, has been very focused on. I had a chance to talk to the EU Foreign Policy Chief Borrell over the weekend about this. The EU is very focused on this, which is why we've been engaged in such intense diplomacy to get both sides to live up to their end of the agreement.
Let me ask you this, that despite concerns over whether the Association of Serb Municipalities, despite concerns over whether such an organization would violate Kosovo's constitution, the U.S. and the EU continue to press the creation of the Association of Serb Municipalities. Now, I asked you last year, Mr. Secretary, about this, but I personally haven't seen a satisfactory answer. Can you tell us what would guarantee that such an association would not become an obstructionist entity like the RS in Bosnia? And have you explored with both the viability of creating an association model compatible with Kosovo's constitution?
Absolutely, and in fact, that is our goal. So our position is that the association is an existing legal obligation under the Brussels Agreement. But we have repeatedly told Kosovo that we would help them shape it into something that is a European model that doesn't violate its sovereignty or its constitutional structure, or its functionality. The way we see it, the association is a way for the 4 municipalities, or any other municipality that would like to join, to be able to provide municipal services for a sizable minority in Serbian language. So, in other words, what we'd like to see is we'd like to use the association to unwind what Serbia is doing in northern Kosovo and put it under a Kosovan structure that they control and that it is under Kosovan law. So in other words, I don't see this as a concession to Serbia. I see it as a way for Kosovo to accommodate those citizens that live within Kosovo and who are Kosovan citizens to be able to access government services
Only
in their
if
own
it
language.
can fall within a Kosovo constitutional order does it not become an obstructionist entity like RS in Bosnia.
That is our goal, that it will not. That in fact, the European Union has provided them models, European models, where countries can provide services in another language for their own citizens. And in none of those models can a neighboring country reach into the territory of another neighbor to hobble its constitutionality or its legal structure. And that is our goal. because as they normalize relations between each other, they are also harmonizing with the European Union in their path to integration.
Well, let's talk about the European Union. We know that Greece, Cyprus, Spain, Slovakia, and Romania's non-recognition of Kosovo will continue to present a barrier to entry for Kosovo in the EU, and it gives Serbia, to be frank, a convenient excuse. What's the latest with our engagement with these countries on recognizing Kosovo?
We've been intensively engaged with them, and we've made clear to our Kosovan friends that we're going to continue to be intensively engaged with them, particularly if we can get this normalization agreement agreed to and implemented.
Well, I think we need a robust engagement with them. Finally, I've personally heard from Albanian leaders that ethnic Albanians in the Preševa Valley undergo systematic discrimination. They report having their identities wiped from Serbian government databases, making them essentially stateless. While Serbia attempts to politicize minority rights in Kosovo, what are we doing to address the situation for ethnic Albanians in Serbia?
So our embassy in Belgrade is actively engaged with this, and we're using USAID money to help create some opportunities to enact critical protections for the Albanian, and not just Albanian, Bosniak, and other communities inside of Serbia. Unlike Kosovo, however, because Serbia is recognized by all 5 countries of the European Union, they are further along in their integration path, but at the same time, they have greater obligations under those structures to protect minority rights. So we want to use all of those levers to make sure that the rights of all citizens in Serbia are protected.
Senator Risch.